5-star chef Ivan Flowers is back on Big Blend Radio Champagne Sunday show today to share how to make guajillo-roasted chicken. And you can see Chef Ivan's recipes, including that one. Just go to blendradioandtv.com. You can listen to his past interviews as well. He's also on YouTube where he cooks with his pickle. So check it out. Go to YouTube and just type in Chef Ivan Flowers, and he's on Facebook and Twitter at Chef Ivan Flowers, and he also teaches at Temecula Valley High School. In fact, they have a really cool event coming up we'll talk about in a little bit. But first off, welcome back, Chef. How are you?
I'm good, ladies. How are you? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. We're good. We've got rain. The desert is always happy about rain, and we've had quite a bit this year. So we're pretty happy about that. So can we start drinking champagne now? Yay.
Yes, you are permitted. Go.
Okay, go. Yay. Cheers. Cheers. Go. Don't drink it too fast. You may get the little giggly burps, the little hiccupies. You get the champagne hiccups.
Mm-hmm.
That can happen, So, Chef, this is exciting. Guajillo roasted chicken. It sounds like a really good fall winter dish.
Yeah, anytime actually. Chicken is an amazing protein. You can do so many things with it. And the big thing is when people see dried chilies, they skip them. They keep walking. What do I do with it? It's dried, and it looks so weird. How do I make this work? And they tend not to use them. And in actuality, they're very, very simple.
And so, all right, go ahead.
No, a guajillo is basically, it's a Mirasol chili that's dried. It's one of the most common chilies used in Mexico. It comes from the state of Zacatecas. The smaller ones are hotter. The long, wide ones are richer in flavor and less spicy. But it's a very, very, it's a chili that's used in everything from soups and stews to moles. It's extremely popular and delicious.
So do you have to reconstitute the chili in water or something to make it edible?
That's all you do. I mean, you can leave the seeds in, take them out, make sure you take the stems off, reconstitute them in water. Always save some of that water if you want to add to the recipe, and that's it. And then you're going to blend it up with different ingredients to make the sauce. That's all it is. You're reconstituting the chili.
So does that make it less hot?
It depends on what chili you're going to use. Chilies, if they're hot, they're going to be hot. If they're dry, they're going to be hotter because they've been dehydrated. So it just simply depends on which chili you use. The guajillo is not that hot. So also you have the options of leaving some of the seeds in. So that will adjust your on Scoville, it's pretty low. So it's not going to be very, very hot. You could add stuff to it as well. When you're making the mixture, if you want to add a little cayenne, if you want to add sriracha, if you want to add a little chopped habanero, you can combine chilies to get to the hotness that works for you.
Ooh, this sounds like fun. I like this idea of reconstituting and putting them in water. Now, this to me, when you start doing it with the different chilies, this is something, again, that we could use on different dishes, right? Once you start getting this seasoning together, you could do it with other proteins, or maybe even just have this as a sauce that we can use with portobellos, or
absolutely. You can use this on pork, you can use this on beef, mushrooms, you can use it on different vegetables, you can do some fruit dishes with it. You can make salsa.
Pineapple.
It makes great salsas as a component of salsa, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. So we played good intro music for you, right?
Yes.
Oh, it's good because we're going to play Te Quiero Mucho at the end of your segment here, just because it's from the artist Ted DeGrazia. But right now, one of his exhibits is chickens, because apparently back in the day he used to have chickens running around the gallery. So anyway, there we go. We had to do that. But okay, so you've got the chicken. So this is. Let's talk about the sauce. So you've got the chilies, and you said that you've got chilies, garlic, a medium sweet white onion. You know what? I bought a white onion the other day, and we haven't used it yet. And it's the first. I've never done anything with a white onion before. Yeah, I've never cooked with a white onion before, ever. Huh. We always use purple onions here for some reason.
Well, that's because that's what you get.
Yeah, but that's because it's Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't even think. So they're sweeter then, huh? The white ones. Are they sweeter than the yellow?
They can be. Like if you buy a Walla Walla, certain onions are sweeter. Some people like red onions. They're tartar. Spanish onions, white onions, it's all what you like.
Okay.
I like a white onion. I grew up with white onions. My grandmother Millie in Flatbush was like, forget it. It was like the whole floor smelled like onions and celery and garlic. So that was her sofrito.
Wow.
It's all what you like.
So I want to get the Walla Walla ones just to say Walla Walla. You
yes,
know,
Walla
Walla
Walla.
Walla.
And say, don't
Walla
you have
Walla.
any Walla Walla?
Yeah, I want to go around asking for Walla Walla.
You also
Walla
have the
Walla.
Maui sweet onions from Hawaii.
Oh,
Those
that's
are really, really nice.
We went in Yerington, Nevada, is where they grow most of the onions in the West, and it's really a trip. We went into some of the farms where they dry them. They dry the outside and everything so that they can be shipped and everything. But they apparently, and then we would go to the stores and you look and it says, "Oh, onions come from here." It's like that's the onion land, and I had no idea. They're on the Pony Express. There's a bunch of onions growing, so you never know. I didn't know to ask them about Walla Walla. So you've got your white onion, and then you're going to do tomato, a small tomato. You say quartered. You've got sweet chili. So that's that paste, right? When you do that.
It's the sauce. Mm-hmm. The Thai sweet chili.
Sugar, a little
canola.
bit of sugar, canola oil.
Yeah,
and so you're mixing that together.
Yeah, basically what you're going to do is you're going to boil your chilies for about 2 minutes. You can keep the seeds or not. You strain out some of the liquid and then hold it to the side. Then what you do is you add in to the pot your garlic, sweet chili, onions, tomatoes, sugar, and canola, and you pulse until the mixture becomes smooth. Okay, so you blend all this together and then you go back in the pot. And then you cook it. You simmer that for another 10 minutes so it all comes together. It's that easy. It's that simple. Salt and pepper to taste at the end, and you're done. Now you have the glaze for your chicken. So it's one pot, a quick boil, a blender, and then you go back in the same pot that you used to boil the chilies, and you get this rich, thick mixture. Now, some people strain it if you don't want any of those seeds in there, or maybe some of the skins can get a little tough. So you can put it through a strainer and push it through. With a teaspoon, you get this nice smooth sauce. If you want to, now at that point, if you want, you can put a touch of butter in to make it a little smoother, and it'll work as a wonderful glaze on the protein that you're using.
Oh, wow. Nice.
It's really simple.
I like this. I know our friend Eva, she made the red chili sauce. Remember this? And then she said you can use it, for all kinds, like a sauce, and then sometimes add it into being like a barbecue sauce too, right?
Yes.
You could do that.
Yes.
Huh. Would you use this
you can
with
convert
fish?
this very easily. You can convert this to a barbecue sauce by putting vinegar and extra tomato and then a touch more sugar. And then you're down the road of a barbecue sauce where it's going to have that vinegary, more tomatoey, and a little heat on the end. So it's like I tell my students, you can make food do anything you want. You have to control the food. The food cannot control you. You have to take it where you want it to go.
You have to be careful, because if the food controls you, that's when you get hurt. From my experience, if you aren't paying attention to the food will jump out of the pot and bite your arm.
Yes. I had a student last week. I had little habanero peppers, and he decided to be very macho. And I didn't see him, and he popped one in his mouth. And I said, "Did you just eat this habanero?" "Oh, I do this all the time." And in about, I'd say 3.5 minutes, I was getting him milk and yogurt as he turned every color of the rainbow.
But that's the fun part of cooking, right? And kids and teaching them is getting
this. Even your fingers, when you're working with chili, your fingers carry that, and you have to really wash. Otherwise, wherever you put your fingers,
your eyes,
it's going to hurt.
Just watch where you put your fingers after that. It could hurt. Here we go. So the other part, I want to get to the roasting the chicken, because you go and get like the whole chicken and start chopping the chicken.
Yeah, you always buy the chicken whole. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a class on that in another week where you can literally, if you cook 2 chickens a week as a family or whatever, if you buy a whole chicken and cut it yourself, you could actually save $2,200 a year compared to if you buy the parts. Yes. Yeah, once they portion a chicken for you, they sell it for, the whole is never equal to the parts. It's like, okay, I bought a car. If I was to buy this car piece by piece and put it together, I paid $26,000 for the car, but it would probably cost me close to $1 million in parts. Well, the same thing applies to a chicken. I'm a big believer every person in America should know how to fabricate a chicken. And then you think about all the byproducts, the chicken salad, the chicken soup. I mean, it goes on forever. It goes on forever.
Wow. My grandmother was always like, get the giblets. She always liked the turkey was the thing. Get the giblets. And it was just so like, no, get the giblets. It's the most important part.
I remember as a kid running around in Kenya, and they would do the thing to the chicken outside, and and they'd get a big pot, and they would sit there, and I'd be like, I was just playing with the chicken, but now it's too late. But they would sit and take all the feathers off, and that is it. And I love this because we watched Anthony Bourdain's thing in Kenya, and one of the things that just threw me was that I remember as a kid in Kenya, they would always chop meat on a tree stump, and there it was on TV. I was watching them do it again, and I'm like, oh my God, because I was like, you have these memories as a kid, and then, and sometimes you don't know what you don't know what it is that you're remembering, like certain foods and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, they're still doing it. They're still chopping chicken on a stump.
In the city market, they would bring their tree stump.
Yep.
I was so shocked the first time I shopped there. It was so much fun. And then you're like, okay, there's beef and there's lamb and there's all kinds of meat. And then you see what's on display. They don't sell you what you're looking at. They just whip out this thing and big old hatchet right there on the tree stump. And you're like, uh-oh.
So I presume this is not what you're doing in class next week.
No. Well, it's funny. I had a student last year. Kids love chicken. They eat fried chicken. They eat chicken nuggets. They eat chicken sandwiches, a Chick-fil-A and all this. And I had a class, and I'm a great believer in you got to know what a whole chicken is. I'm not taking it all the way back to the coops and the way they're raised. But I had the whole chicken. I put it out, and I put my hand in, take out the giblets, which is the heart, the stomach, and the liver. And I had a student pass out. He went on the floor. He hit the floor like he went down. Because he had never seen a whole chicken and with the giblets being taken out. So I'm like, you guys have to know this is culinary. I mean, but it was all good. He recovered.
Talk about disconnect.
He should have come to Kenya with me, like hung out with me. But it is freaky when you see all that. There is now. Okay, so when you are buying a whole chicken, right? So now when you go to the store, and I have not bought a whole chicken in years. Like I wouldn't know. I don't eat as much of the protein side of life that's not plant-based. But going in, I remember you could go in, right, and there's like. You can either go to the butcher part of a store, right, or go to a real butchery, or you go in, there's like frozen chickens, and then there's chickens like in a baggy thing. So what are you looking for? It's kind of like what we've talked about over Thanksgiving with turkey. I mean, are you doing the turkey frozen, or are you getting it fresh? How should we be purchasing it?
I believe you always buy. First of all, whole chickens are so cheap. They run them on special, and they're like 77 cents a pound. And you can get a whole chicken for like $4.50. I mean, it is incredibly cheap. The butchers will try to then do picnic packs, leg and thigh, bone-in thigh, boneless, skinless thigh, breast, bone-in breast, skin on breast, boneless breast. And it goes as high as $8.99, $9.99 a pound, and you can literally, in 45 seconds, fabricate a chicken to all the parts that you want. So I'm really, really big in buying it whole and fabricating it.
That's a weird
But it
word.
doesn't matter if it's frozen or not.
I don't buy frozen chicken. I buy fresh. It's always fresh, and even if I bought picnic packs, they don't usually sell chickens frozen. They'll sell turkeys frozen, but chickens frozen, no. You don't want to buy a chicken frozen. Buy it fresh.
I always feel like they've been frozen and then thawed out and frozen again.
Mm-hmm.
I always
well,
get
sometimes
that.
in transport they'll put a little freeze on them, a light freeze, and that's just shelf life and stuff. But you don't want to buy frozen chickens.
I think that's what happens to avocados sometimes. Sometimes you get avocados, and no matter what you do, you can't brown them. You put them in bags. You can do whatever you want, and like weeks will go by, and then eventually you just like hammer it open, and it's still like that. I think they're freezing them, and then if you do get one that somehow manages to ripen, it's like eating flour, like green, grainy.
Yeah, mushy and mealy. Yeah, I get it.
Ew.
Because there's too much water content. Yeah. Oh, that's happened to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that frozen part of transportation.
Yeah, I read that that an avocado doesn't ripen on the tree, and they ripen by heat, by being Tracy
always buys them unripe, green.
Yeah.
She puts them in a paper bag, closes the paper bag, and then in 4 days they're right there. And she does a little dance. She like puts an avocado in a pan, and she does the avocado dance. It's very cute. And we get excited, and then we talk about, is it avocado-y? You know,
because
there's nothing
it's
like
nice.
California butter.
You said breakfast is avocado, omelets is avocado, salad is avocado.
And there's nothing worse than trying like an unripe or one with all those brown root things growing through it. And you know, I've learned now. So I did read this, and it says it has to warm naturally, not like in the oven or something. Naturally warm in order to ripen, because it's got something to do, some kind of gas that emits from the avocado that brings on the oil, and the avocado without oil will never ripen. So if you put it in the refrigerator, you can just toss it out. It's never going to ripen.
Wow.
Yes, it's true.
That sucks. That
Isn't
sucks.
That weird?
Well, speaking of avocado chicken sandwiches are good. We just went hiking on Friday with a friend of ours, Rondi, and I always get excited because she makes the best sandwiches ever. And so once every few months I eat chicken because she makes these chicken sandwiches. And I'm like eating them. She did them on these soft rolls. They were like little Hawaiian soft rolls. And it was like chicken mayonnaise. She put a little hard-boiled egg in there. And I was like, what is this, dill or tarragon? And she had this like mustard dill that just was, I can't even tell you. She had that sweet and salty kind of tangy thing, like all those flavors. So now I was wondering about like the chicken, this guajillo-roasted-chicken, taking roasted chicken that's had that glaze and then putting that in a sandwich with avocado.
Oh, yummy.
Of course, absolutely.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
And the bread is key.
It's
Hawaiian. Bread is everything. The bread is life. Oh, any Hawaiian bread is like to die for. I would do it with the boneless, skinless thigh. What I would do is just dredge it in a little flour and sear it in a pan because it's that juicy, delicious dark meat, and then that creaminess of the avocado, and then that texture of the bread, and then maybe a little red onion on there, and a little salt and pepper, and a little iceberg lettuce or bib lettuce, and then do like a little sriracha mayonnaise. Or do an avocado mayonnaise. They make great avocado mayonnaise, and on and on and on. And it's not only the flavor, it's the texture. When you first bite into a sandwich, what hits you is the bread.
Yeah.
It's exactly it. And then I had another one, and then I had to stop because I had cookies. But that's the thing. I mean, there's nothing like this really good sandwich, and it was simple. You know, that's the other thing. That simplicity. Like this recipe is simple. You know, it's like wow. And then you're basically putting these chicken pieces in a roasting pan, and there you go. So for moms, busy moms and dads, this is like a good family recipe.
Yes. Yes.
Easy.
Chicken can feed you for the whole week, and you can have it in such different variations. You'll never have the same meal twice.
Yeah, it's true. It's creative.
And you talk about this, so you're gonna, brush this chicken with the chili mixture. I'm trying to get us back on track because we always go off on a tangent. Then put it in the oven, and then you say go in and check it every 20 minutes. So should it be kind of thick or like a glaze? Like is it thick like a stewy kind of thing? Are you still seeing the piece?
It's like ketchup. It's got the consistency of ketchup. So you want to always watch it. You want to make sure it doesn't burn. You can put it on from the start, reapply as you need it, and then when it's done, tent it, reapply the sauce, put aluminum foil on it, let it sit for 10 minutes. So all that juice, everything goes back into the center. And this is delicious hot. This is really good cold, too. I have a thing about cold glazed chicken. It's just like, oh, God.
Somehow I think you taste it more when it's cold.
Yeah.
I like cold food.
Yeah.
Cold pizza and a beer for breakfast with
Right?
slices of avocado. That's weird, but yeah, we do that. Whenever we have pizza that's left over, Nancy will heat it up and top it with a fried egg.
It's good.
When you still have to have
why
the
not?
milk running. It is
Why
so
not?
good. That breakfast pizza is the bomb.
Yes.
The egg does something to the bread.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And I don't know what it's doing, but it's doing something.
Yeah,
It
it's
works.
like a pizza Benedict. It's really
Tracy
good.
puts Thousand Island on pizza. So, you know, she'll make her own Thousand Island, and she'll put a little Thousand Island, or she'll take the crust and then dip it into the Thousand Island. Or another sauce that she does, she takes sour cream with salsa. And what else? Sour cream with salsa. So delicious. It's like two components. It's like you can't stop eating it. It just works. This works.
Wow. That sounds good.
That sounds really good.
I know. I'm digging
it's
this.
really different.
So I saw this on Facebook. Linda Kissam, the diva, showed me this because we both have a thing about pickles. I know you have Pickle the dog, but Linda and I are weird about like salsas and pickles. These are two things. And Bloody Marys, that's a third thing. Three things in life that should never be screwed up.
Right.
Bloody Mary, salsa, and pickles. And so her new thing is she's like, everything is pickle, pickle, pickle. And so she posted this on my Facebook page. She's like, Lisa, would you do this? It's a garlic pizza. So this guy makes a garlic sauce. And then the pizza is pickles and mozzarella cheese. And I'm like, I'm going to make that. Would you do that, Ivan? Would you do it?
Yeah.
Really weird.
I would try that. I make my own pickles, though, because they're easy to do and I control the salt. Commercial pickles, the salt, the sodium is through the roof. Guess what? You don't need that much salt. You can literally use 80% less and still have a fantastic pickle.
Wow.
You don't want an over salty pickle.
Well, most of the salt that's put in pickles and stuff like that in the market it's not for the taste. It's just to make it stay there for 10 years.
And they put coloring in there.
Yes, it's for Of course, it's processed. It's preservatives.
Yeah.
It sits on the shelf for weeks at a time. Pickles and sugar do that. They preserve.
Why are they putting high fructose? Because I was looking at this
sugar
the other day.
It's cheap.
High fructose corn syrup in your pickle.
It's cheap. Yeah, well, because cane sugar is more expensive.
So I didn't even know about putting sugar in there. So pickling. So you get your own little cucumbers, which is cool because you can control the cucumber, right? So they may have organic pickles saying, oh, this is organic, but now how are the preservatives not organic? I mean, how that doesn't make sense to me. So this is organic. Your pickle could be organic, but the chemicals aren't organic, right? Those are chemicals, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At that point, get over it.
Yeah, right. If you don't make it yourself, if it's hanging out in the grocery store, there's some components that are going to preserve it and give it shelf life.
Okay.
Otherwise,
But how long does it take to make a pickle? Like, because when you think of it, it's scary.
You can do, if you do slices, if you go thin, you can pickle slices in 20 minutes. If you do a whole pickle, they'll pickle in 20 minutes. It's called a quick pickle.
It's
a quick
vinegar and spices.
Everybody wants a quick pickle.
It's vinegar
but it's
and
thin,
spices.
so it's done.
Yeah.
If you do spears, it'll take maybe 6 hours. If you do whole pickles, it has to go into the pickle. That'll take maybe about 2 days.
Yeah.
But quick pickling can be done literally in 10 minutes. Onions, pickles, okra, tomatoes, all of it.
Yeah.
But
my dad used to eat pickled cheese. It was the weirdest thing. Yeah, well, he was a butcher, so he used to pickle cheese, and
I gotta try it.
It's good, but it's really weird when you look at it. It's weird. He eats cheddar, and he cut it like in 1/4-inch kind of blocks.
Yes.
And he put it in this. I remember there was bay leaves and I forget coriander, bay leaves, all these spices with vinegar and a little bit of sugar. I think that's all it was. And with the spices, and put it into like a mason jar. He put the cheese in the mason jar with the pickling juice, and he just left it, and it kind of wizzens up a bit, but it tastes really good. It's really good.
There's something about it, like, you know, what I used to like in England, they used to have piccalilli, which had like, it was like a relish of, you know what I'm talking about? That
yes,
man.
of course.
Relish.
See that, and then mango chutney is something I crave. Mango chutney, good chutney.
A good mango chutney. I crave pickled herring. I love pickled herring. And then my grandmother showed me how to do it when I was a kid, and then I would finish it in sour cream, and it was just it was to die for. That's
interesting. In South Africa, all my friends would eat sardines out of a can.
Oh, gross.
And put condensed milk with them.
I can't.
What was that?
No.
Maybe it's just boarding school food, but there was the sardines and condensed milk thing, and or sour cream. They would do either one. You know, that was a thing. Sardines in a can. Some of them had tomatoey stuff. Some of them didn't. Some of them were oily, and I would just look at them and go, "Look at that! Look what you're eating." You know, that's what I was. But I did. I have to say this. Steve Schneikert, our Hollywood historian, he says that he puts sriracha on his pizza, and sometimes he tops it with Caesar salad. So he puts the whole, like, makes a pizza and a salad all at the same time with sriracha.
Why not? Yeah.
It's a sandwich.
Yeah.
Just fold it over and it's a sandwich.
I just ate and I'm hungry again. This is crazy. We talk about anything pickled, I'm in. Remember pickled feet? They had the pickled pig feet.
Oh, not the pickled pig feet.
And pickled eggs.
Lord. I know. Pickled eggs.
I grew up on pickled pig's feet and prunes. My grandmother, I was 5 years old.
And prunes?
We'd come back from pickled pig's feet and prunes. We'd go to the live chicken market. She'd buy the chickens from the live chicken market, and then as she was making the chickens, I would sit in this big chair and she would give me pickled pig's feet and prunes.
Oh,
and she felt that, you know, it because you had to move your bowels. Everything was, you had to be regular. So she ruined me.
To move.
She ruined me from 5 years old.
She pruned you.
Well, when we okay, so
I've been pruned.
I don't know if you know, but Nancy and I are going back on the road full time in May. We're getting back on the tour.
We're going to take prunes.
But we were talking about what we ate on our first tour in South Africa when we were on the road for 2.5 years, and we were talking about what was available, what was easy for us traveling, and there were these crackers, Provitos, and Melrose cheesy spread, which now we realize was not necessarily the healthiest thing. However, due to digestive needs, we learned that if you ate peanuts and licorice, you would be completely balanced. That's all I have to say. Peanuts and licorice, and to this day, I believe in the power of peanuts and licorice. Good licorice.
I have to remember that one.
Apparently, licorice helps too. I'm just saying.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, anyway, so we always go there. There's prunes somewhere in here. We always end up in the digestive side. But I did want to tell you, we thought of you the other day. We interviewed a musician from Italy. His name is Emiliano Ferrari, and he lived in Rome, and now he lives in Brussels, in Belgium.
Oh.
And we're like, and he recorded his album in Italian while he was in Belgium. But anyway, he's cool. He's a cool guy. He's traveled all over, and so we're like, well, what's it like living in Brussels and in Belgium? And I'm thinking waffles and all that. He's like, the food, he's having a hard time. He goes, I'm Italian. I need my Roma tomatoes. I'm from Rome. Where's my tomatoes? I need my zucchinis. And he's like, he's dying because he doesn't have that. And I didn't want to say this on the air, but now I'm going to. I remember that scene in The Godfather where they needed their fresh tomatoes and zucchinis in prison. And this is a real thing. Like he needs his tomatoes.
Vitamin C.
It's very French-based. I spent a lot of time in Belgium in the 80s. It's extremely French-based. It's very different than Italy. So it's, again, French versus, Italian cooking. It's very different. It's important to know both because they're great ways to cook. but they're very different. Just like Italy itself. You go down to the south, and it's olive oil and lemons. You go up to the north, and it's a lot of meats and stews and heavy sauces and cheese, and it's very different. It's very different.
I know I have friends who did Europe recently, or she was in Germany, and she's like, I've never thought that I would love salad so much. I can't wait to come home for salad. She's from California, and next thing you know, everything's meat and cheese and like heavy. And she's like, I need salad. I need to come home for salad. And then I'll come back out. And while the food was really good, she was like, I need salad.
A lot of sausages. Yeah. German cuisine is a lot of meat, a lot of sausages, a lot of wursts, liverwurst, picklewurst, Knabelwurst, the wurst. And heavy breads and big steins of beer and
gotta have potatoes, schnitzel.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, speaking of that, I want to bring this up because this is super cool. This everyone, if you go to visittemeculaValley.com, you'll be able to see this. And this is where Ivan teaches in Temecula, California, wine country, beautiful region, close to San Diego, close to Palm Springs and the mountains. It's just an awesome area. But now, I didn't actually know that this is the name of your class, that it's a CTE student. So this is career technical education, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So you're teaching is pretty much teenagers, right? And high school teens.
Yes.
Temecula Valley High School. And there's this event. It's a second annual Battle of the Burgers. I want to go.
I love it.
It's being held at Pechanga Resort Casino. It's put together by Temecula Valley School District and also Visit Temecula Valley. So the Temecula Valley Visitor Bureau, check that out again. So this is October 20th. Everyone in that area should check this out. I wish I was there. I would go check this out. So this is like a fundraiser, right? And 20 restaurants are competing for this championship title. And apparently your students are involved?
Yes, there'll be restaurants competing. Then we'll have 13 chefs, and the chefs and the sous chefs will be working for them, and they're going to be coming up with recipes to do loaded fries, to do different versions with the French fries. Now, I'll tell you, it's my Culinary 3 capstone class, and they're very bright. So we had made gnocchi the week before, and I had a student that said, can I take an gnocchi, flatten it down, put a tiny little burger in there and a splash of ketchup, deep fry it after I flour it, and it's like eating a mini cheeseburger fry. And I'm like, you go.
Wow.
And I take egg roll wrappers and fill it with different things. And I'm like, so we're very excited. We meet with the chefs this Friday, so we'll go over it. There's 13 different restaurants and different venues, and everything from American to Thai to Philippine to Italian. And it's a great event, and they're a little nervous. They have nothing to be nervous about. It's all about creativity. There's no losers in anything like this. It's about the experience. It's going to help them get their food handlers cards as we progress them through the program. So, my hat's off to Pechanga for doing this. And it's great. I mean, to have a chef and a sous chef work for you where they're following what you're doing.
That's amazing.
That's going to be exciting, though.
Yeah, this is, when you get to do the creativity and you're going to have it's like, being in a band, your best rehearsal is getting up on stage and performing. You will learn everything so fast versus, in the studio, just keep going over the same notes and making a mistake over and over. But when you talk about these food handler cards, what are those?
Basically, it's cards where you know everything about bacteria, food safety, storage, how to be able to work in the culinary field and keep food safe and keep customers safe. So
that's
it's a
awesome.
program.
So afterwards, they can go to work somewhere. If
if
go to work.
Yeah, if you're a server, if you're working in the front, you need them. And it's done through Riverside County, as it is with any county in any state, and it's a good program. It keeps everybody well.
Yeah, we like that. We like that. So this is so exciting. And everyone, there's tickets being sold for $10 again for a fundraiser to help these kids move forward. And I think this is so exciting, because what a great program. That is I love to hear about stories like this. So everyone, again, October 20th at Pechanga Resort Casino. That's a fun place, just saying.
Yeah, not that we would know.
It's massive, and I know that they've done all these additions to it. And
huge.
It's huge. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Isn't it the largest one in the area or something? Largest one in Southern California?
I think so. It is. It's a city. It's a city.
Wow.
You know.
Wow. So this is cool for kids to go there.
I know.
And then take your fundraising money and run off to the. No, you're not allowed. You're not allowed yet. But
right.
I think this is exciting for that. So if you were going to do, so they're having to make fries according to what the chefs are doing for the burger. So if a chef is doing like a burger and it's going to be like a burger with onion rings and stuff like that on that would kind of throw what are you going to do if there's a burger with like that kind of thing on there? They'd have to do an interesting fry.
We're going to see. There's so many different fries. There's waffle fries. There's crinkle cuts. There's tater tots. There's French fries. There's the shoestring. There's
sweet potato
fries. So we'll talk about all of that, and then of course the simplicity. We've been working on a little bit, and they're writing ingredients with 30 things on them, and I'm like, no. We want to be simple.
Yeah.
So we look at all different ways to make light sauces, because the beauty of a French fry is you eat it, as soon as it comes out of the fryer is when you're going to season it. You're going to put the light sauce on. Maybe you're going to do it on the side. We don't know. A French fry has, about an 8-minute life before it starts to go limp. So you got to eat them right when they're out of the fryer, because then they start to, you pick up fast food, you come home, and the French fries are gone,
Yeah.
So we want to make it where it's going to work.
You don't want the wilt.
No limpage.
Yeah.
No,
hey,
no,
I, before we get to our champagne toast, everyone visit TemeculaValley.com. Again, it's a website for that. Before we get to the toast, I have a question about onions. Because now, the white onion, now I'm like, I'm going to go open up the onion.
She's on the Walla
So
Walla.
there's all this stuff going around. Of course, Facebook is great. People share information. But sometimes you have to question, is this true? Who put that information out there initially? Did they know what they were talking about? So I've seen this thing about onions, that once you open an onion, you don't keep it because it attracts all the bacteria. And so whatever you eat is going to have the bacteria from your fridge because the onion's going to soak it up. And people get sick from onions because of that. Is that true? Do we have to use the whole thing each time?
No. When you cut an onion and you're done, you just wrap it. Wrap it in plastic really tight. Yeah. You don't want to put it in the fridge because it's going to make other foods taste like an onion.
Exactly.
Because of the gas that it puts out. But like anything else, you just wrap it tight and you're fine. You don't have to use those things.
I don't mind if everything tastes like an onion.
Oh my gosh.
Except for the wine. Don't ruin the wine.
See?
No.
Well, that we finished, so you don't have to
We don't
worry.
have that problem in there. But okay, no, I was just wondering about that because it's like you get these old wives' tales that sometimes are true and sometimes it's like,
right.
Really, how come I'm not dead yet?
I always put it in plastic.
Right.
In a container.
Or a container, yeah, exactly. I just cut off the sidey thingies. But, okay, everybody, it is time to pop the cork as though we haven't already. No. So this is a family tradition. Every Sunday we pop a cork, or something else, and it could be tea, it could be water. It's about taking time out to take a breath and look at what is good in the world. Especially nowadays, everybody's all up in arms. Let's have a little pause and a little breather and look at the good stuff in life. And so we just toast to things. So, Ivan, what are you toasting to?
I'll tell you what I think is good in the world, and that's women. I think women run. I think women run things better than men. I think women juggle schedules. I think women, they give life. I think women are the greatest thing that has ever been, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
We toast to you. We like that.
We like it.
Are you sure you don't want to say that again?
Yeah. Tracy's going, there
yes,
you go.
Yes, that's it. Well done. Well done. She's going to make pizza now. Nancy, what are you toasting to?
Well, given the ups and downs that we've all been through lately, I would like to toast to the idea of having fun. And Katharine Hepburn said it best. If you obey all the rules, you miss all the fun.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. I agree. I am toasting to the change of seasons, because there's these moments you see when you see it start to happen. One leaf fall, the spiders are out everywhere. The orb weavers are going berserk in our neck of the country, and they're just so amazing. So the amazement of nature and how you can tell the seasons change from nature and what nature does, whether it's the spiders doing their weaving, the new birds flying in on their migration. That's really, to me, just mind-blowing, and it reminds us how teeny we are, you know. It's very humbling, and it just reminds you how magnificent the world really is, and to just look out for those little things that remind you it's not all about you.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the spiders that are doing all the weaving and all that hard work, I think they're female spiders.
I think so too, and they may bite your hot. No, that's the praying mantis.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to research. I never really thought about that.
Well, the black widow woman
But I was thinking the other day about some spiders are really big and hairy, and have hairy legs, and then other ones don't have any.
We'll get David Mizajewski to do a spider segment
for us. So I'm wondering if the ones who make these really fancy webs don't have hairy legs because they probably get caught in their own web.
Yeah.
Because tarantulas are tunnel.
Yeah, they go underground, and
Wow. Would you eat a spider, Ivan?
No. No. When I lived in Wickenburg, Arizona, I walked out my front door and I saw a tarantula. And out from Brooklyn, remember this? I was insane. I had never seen anything like that. It was like a horse. It was like a little miniature pony that was like hanging out. Hello. No. I wouldn't eat a spider. I don't hold a spider. I have arachnophobia. So.
Nancy almost stood on a tarantula on a trail like a couple months ago.
Bigger than half my
And she didn't know what to do. She didn't know what it was. It was this
so shocked.
massive, this was huge. The biggest tarantula I've ever seen. It was about the size of a foot. And
Nancy,
I just hear this. She's behind me. I just hear this. And then she couldn't say what it was. I'm like, oh, God, snakes, because, like, it was totally, we're in that end part of, snake baby season and all that. I'm like, oh, God, it's another rattlesnake encounter. Here we go. Because the last time we went out, that's what happened. And, no, she was, like, pointing at it. Like, she couldn't speak. And I'm like, dude, that's so cool.
Like,
and she's like, get down on the ground and take a photograph. And I got down, and I'm like,
you
dude,
didn't get down.
I didn't get all the way down. I could not get all the way down. I'm just like, no, what if I can't get back up? I'm falling, and I can't get back up, and there's a tarantula, so no. All righty. Well, thank you so much, Chef Ivan. Always fun having you on the show. Great information, and I'm going to cut open my white onion, and I'm going to make a garlic pickled pizza with mozzarella and white onion.
Why not?
Why not?
Sounds like an album title.
I know. I'm going to do that.
Saute your onions first, though. Saute your onions. Caramelize them.
I'm really good about it now. I'm really, really good about doing the saute, then off it goes. It's changed everything. But I want to play with chilies now. That is going to be a new thing.
Yes.
So
oh boy,
I'm going to use this in my chili. I make vegetarian chili, and I'm going to use the sauce in the chili.
I just have to say, Lisa has personally dyed our kitchen yellow with turmeric.
I know,
and it's not coming out of anything. All
love
our
turmeric.
dishes are now light yellow.
It's good for you.
I think the best seasonings. Cumin should have its own category. Cumin, turmeric, and paprika. Those three together are like the essence of goodness. They must happen. Okay, so we're going to play a song for you. Te quiero mucho. It is off of the album Please Remember Me, which is the music of Ted DeGrazia, the famed Arizona artist. And they found his manuscripts of music, and the Tucson Jazz Orchestra and at the university and his son Domingo DeGrazia got together and recorded an album. Some of the music is Domingo's. This one is a Ted DeGrazia piece, and you can go to degrazia.org to learn more and to get the album. It's one of our favorites. But again, because we were talking about chicken, One of their rotating exhibits right now on display until January 30th, 2019 is DeGrazia's Chickens, and it's cool, so go check it out. So anyway, we have to match everybody, whether it's a chicken recipe or getting a chicken song. So here's Te Quiero Mucho. Don't forget, keep up with us at BigBlendRadio.com. Stay tuned. We have more music and more shopping news and food news. Thanks so much, Ivan.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Here it is. Te Quiero Mucho.